I don't know what just happened there. So, with the technology, I'm guessing that perhaps there's enough bandwidth or something silly like that. Let's myself a nice little. Can I get that up, Eddie? So, I'm going to attempt this again. I just got done preparing a live stream for tomorrow that I'm going to be shooting. So I'm a little excited. But now that I get all my prep work done for tomorrow, I figured I'd come on here and, you know, just chat and see what happens. Because you never can tell. And I need my watch hours, man. We'll have to see how that. I should have gone over, but I didn't. So it's 11:57 p.m. on March 19th, 2024. I'm excited about tomorrow. I got questions. A list of questions right here. I'm gonna be presumptuous and call him my buddy. Because tomorrow we're gonna be talking about what led us to starting our YouTube channels, what things we've been surprised to learn growing our channels. We're gonna be discussing being in our own niche and niche, and then where we feel our channel going or leaning in regards to content, are they trends or ideas? For what it's worth. Excuse me. Because, you know, I keep trying. And the more I try, the more I'm disappointed. And it's strange how that works. Because as a YouTube creator, there are so many different things that you can try at any one time. But I feel as if I've tried a good bunch of them. And I have not a mastery of, but a good foundation of how YouTube works. And so I'm sorry to interrupt your shorts feed, because I guess that's how you get to me. Is you scrolling through the shorts and going, viddly, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then it goes, oh, how about you check this? He's live right now. And then you go, bleep, and you realize, oh, this guy's boring. He doesn't got a show per se. He's just a dude talking. But, oh, hello. I don't know what. Oh. Wow. Well, that's not very nice. But I'm undeterred. And you know why? Because life has been good to me. And it continues to be good to me. I'm very fortunate in that regard. Because, you know, people have been throwing stuff at me for years. And I have come out unscathed. And, in fact, have managed to get my channel to a pretty good size within a couple of years. And so I got a little happiness about that. More happy. Good morning. Ooh, England? That's what the UK means, doesn't it? I love the English. Well, good morning to you. Here, it's midnight, and it is now March 20th. And I am residing in Connecticut, the upper northeast corner of Connecticut, where we have just started spring, and spring has been a little less than to be desired. It was very cold today. I'm sure it's not England cold, but Welsh. Wow. So you're up early in the morning. Good morning. Near Enfield? No, I think I'm about 40 minutes away from Enfield. I have to double check my geography. But not far. And I do tend to stay in local area events. Like I go to all the open mics around here in Connecticut and Rhode Island, and then I do shows, and then I of course I hit the Renaissance Fair when that comes around. My go-tos for this channel anyway, and it's been a really good time. And despite the fact Connecticut's got its failings like any other place, I love the summers and I love the trees. And I really like the way things work. But I'm in Danielson, which is the upper northeast corner. The Enfield is like, see, I'm thinking left because I'm thinking of the map. West of me, I believe. Enfield, Mansfield, and around there. But still, oh, what's this? There will be a Renaissance after this war. Well, we'll see. And I'm hanging out listening to my most recent album, which is out on Spotify and all the music platforms if you want to take a look at it. Oh, you never can tell what the future's going to hold. Hey, you know what I can do, though? It's 2 p.m. and I don't know why I'm watching this. Oh, please do. Well, no one's forcing you. I didn't make you click the button. And I'm not terribly entertaining. I'm just hanging out. Hanging out live stream. Because, well, you know, it's about an hour before my bedtime, and I figured I'd hang out, have some terrible beer. 1 a.m. was better. Well, I'm liking all my AMs. My AMs and my PMs. As long as it doesn't get to my DMs. StarCraft. Yes, I was playing StarCraft the other night. And it didn't make any sense. Because we can do horizontal streams where you can show them what you're playing and you can explain what you're doing. But YouTube has been pushing this vertical format live streaming. And so I've been giving it a shot. And the results have been actually really good. Hence why I'm back here again tonight. Because I set up a horizontal for tomorrow. I got a list of questions for my guest. I have a special guest star coming, calling in tomorrow. And we're going to do a powwow about YouTube and how to get bigger and how to get monetized and how things work. Because he's monetized, I'm not. I'm on the cusp. And that's a pretty big thing when you're doing this stuff. The funny part is I keep looking like that because I have to read the text, and it's very tiny. I imagine this would be cool for like behind the scenes stuff or, you know, live action. Yeah, the channel name is Black Stripe Pro, but it's listed under my name, Kevin G Nicholson, because I am my own niche. A niche. I guess that's a big thing for YouTubers is you got to figure out what niche you're in. Like I tend to lean towards comedy and local area events because I do a lot of open mics and I attend anything where there's like acting or music. I did a drum circle. I want to say last week, perhaps the week before. My sense of time goes away, but so I've been categorizing myself as comedy, but I'm kind of all over the map because like I've done unboxing videos and I've done reviews and I've poked fun at television shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was just ridiculous, but it was fun to make fun of, and it was actually and I had good retention. I edited that one pretty good, despite the fact it's all me just kind of poking fun at the show. Which isn't to say that if you're into that sort of thing, you probably like it. But anytime that a kid portrays himself maturely, I got to remember it's Hollywood, it's fiction. It really. I'm leaning towards comedy, but I tend to get picked up for. I used to release my music on this before I went to Spotify, and then I realized, oh well, if I'm releasing it on here, then I'm not get. That's like a few extra plays I'm not getting on Spotify. And Spotify actually, I actually get a good chunk from releasing my music on Spotify because not a lot of people listen, but enough people listen. You want to talk about a niche? Because this is the stuff. The stuff in the background is what is stuff I composed and put together. And it's not everyone's cup of tea, but there are enough people who listen to it where I get a few hundred every month, and that's handy. Although it's funny because that's crossing streams too. I intend on releasing a comedy album this year because, believe it or not, I'm actually kind of funny. Not just funny looking, but sometimes I'm actually humorous. Not bad. But that's kind of you to say. I tend to be my own worst critic. To keep me humble. And of course, it only goes downhill because it's beyond 10 p.m. and I'm drinking natural ice, 5.9% alcohol. Why? Because it's terrible, but after the first two, you don't taste anything anyway. Cheers to you, sir. And I was getting ready for like my real stream tomorrow. And then I'm like, well, I'll do this. And I'm glad I did. See, you guys stopped in. I get to hang out for a little bit, get some social interaction. I've been secluded for the last couple of days because I've been working on my next album that's more like this type, not comedy, just music. And I got to focus. And that means I got to cut everyone else off and go, don't bother me, don't bother me. Because surprisingly enough, a lot of people do kind of just stop in on me despite the fact that I do not move from my geographic location. Like, I am in this GPS location, I want to say 90% of the time. Which is why I'm not afraid to drink, because I'm going to remain in this location for a good chunk of time until I go night-night. But I ain't there yet. And I feel like I got a lot done. Missed that last bit about the music. Yeah, well, Spotify is my preferred because they pay pretty good. And then Amazon Music, you can hear it on Pandora. And you can do, like, I'm a topic on YouTube, which is really weird because all my music goes there too. Excuse me. I had corned beef and cabbage tonight. My dear old mother was able to provide some good Irish food. We're not Irish, but we figured, St. Patty's Day just passed. and we generally have it once a year, so it was good. We had my a family friend Edna, and she just turned 103 years old, and so we had her over for dinner, and we had a good time. I mean, you'd be surprised at how much you can enjoy conversation with a 102-year-old woman, and it also helps. She's very fond of me. I miss lovely grub, corned beef, and cabbage. It was. It was pretty good. Of course, I'm still tasting it. Ah, the kilts. I'm not sure. Is that solely Irish, or does I thought Celtic? Doesn't that go like into Wales and into like that's that region, right? Yeah. Can you imagine? She's. I mean, there was barely telephone. There wasn't TV when she was born, so she got to see all of that. And it's so funny because she still got that perspective from. Let me turn this down a tiny bit. She's got that perspective from the 1920s when she was born. Well, 1930s when she was, a kid and able to kind of comprehend what was going on. But to be living in this country 100 years ago, it boggles my brain. It really does. I'm kind of grateful I'm in the time that I'm at. I mean, granted, it might be the end, but we got a lot of neat toys, and medicine's come a long way. But it was nice because but it's also a little sad too because like most of the people that she knew and loved have passed on since then, and so that's so you can see her misting up a little bit when she's talking about her husband and her family and stuff like that. And I imagine I mean, I'm sure it would be nice to have a good long life, but also must be terrible to see the people that you care about, pass on in front of you, and then to be remain. But she's still got a real positive outlook, and she's still spry. She can still walk. She's still got her wits about her. And boy, I don't think I'll ever make that age, but if I were to, I want to be as sharp as that woman because she's good people, always very friendly, and that's why as a family friend we picked her up and we brought her over to my mom's and we had a few people over and it was a good time. So that's my story about eating with Edna. She's wonderful. And it's funny because she's been coming over the house for the last 20 years. And since she started coming over, I lost my sister and my father. And so, like, the table size keeps getting shorter. Irish, Wales, Scottish, Cornish. Brittany, North France is Gaelic. Oh. Corned beef and cabbage, an Irish stew, and each family would have their own version. The Cornish have. See, that's neat. I learned something tonight. Because I knew it was kind of that region, but I wasn't sure of the specifics. And hey, you learn. You learn as you go. So it was, but boy, for the first day of spring, it was cold out here. Because I went outside to do some yard work. I'm not allowed to eat cabbage because The next day, she smells it. Oh, it's terrible. That's why I do everything virtually, because you can't smell the wreck. Oh, the cabbage is coming out this second time. Oh, and it's so musical. Oh no, it doesn't smell magically delicious. It's magically atrocious. I know I shouldn't smoke. It's bad for me. I am not a role model, kids. Oh, this is not kid friendly. And it says so on the front. Parental advisory on my forehead. Ah, let me tell you, there's nothing more satisfying than everyone smokes when they're on fire. That's true. In fact, I've set myself on fire a couple times because the head of this will plop off, and uh, I'm currently in my bed, which is the only way that I have it all set up to be like a studio. But in order to live stream with the cell phone, it's actually hanging off a $300 shotgun microphone. So I had to kind of jury rig it so it all works. But it's working, and I'm surprised because oh, well, it's funny that you would ask about that because after Christmas, I got a bonus from Spotify, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a little shopping. And so I, started poking around, and I had to get stuff to actually start streaming, so I had a couple pieces to get. But I popped through the clearance item, and there were a bunch of these lights on clearance, and I'm like, oh well, that would be really cool for a backdrop. And so I bought a ton of them, and the tendrils are everywhere. I'm surprised I haven't electrocuted myself yet. They're everywhere. But it makes a nice background. And the thing is you can, I can set them so they bounce to the music. It keeps me amused. And when people come in, they're kind of like, ooh, ah. And I'm like, well. But I did it specifically to coincide with the streaming. It's so funny because now I have I got a webcam over there that I bought for it. I have a camcorder which hooks into it directly for when I have guests. And now, because they're pushing the vertical live stream thing, now I got my cell phone. And that it seems to work best on that because it looks to me like I'm a little dark unless I really lean in, which is why I keep doing that back and forth. like an old man going, what? But yeah, I mean, it's set up pretty well, and I've enjoyed it because I do. It looks like the night sky in the background from my vantage. Well, if you're not going to put some effort, why bother? It's like I said, I gotta no offense to you guys, or to myself. I have a real stream tomorrow afternoon at 2. And I got a bunch of questions that I prepared for my guest. And it's all going to be about YouTube creation because this other gentleman, Bontecoon, he's got his own channel and it's about double the size of mine. And he's monetized. And he's actually really funny. And he does a lot of off-the-wall stuff too. And so we connected on a Facebook group, small YouTube channels together. And we just happened to bump into each other and we kind of got a pseudo friendship going. And so we've been looking at each other's channels and commenting, which has been a little bit fun. Hey, and speaking of which, anytime you hit that like button, I guess it triggers the algorithm. So if you can do that, yeah, it'd be helpful, handy. All right, what else do you say here? At first, I thought it was a view out of a high-rise building window. Now I'm on. If I was any lower to the ground, I'd be in it, which I imagine is not far from me, being a smoker, but ain't there yet. I'm having a good time until then. Yeah, this is I put a lot of effort into my streams. These though, the vertical live streams, they are on a whim. It's really bizarre because it's just like, I'll throw it on and see what happens. And generally more happens here than when I actually prep. Chilling like a villain. She was more than willing. See, that's one of the reasons I'm anxious to go back to the Renaissance fairs around here, because they're starting up soon when it gets warmer, and I got a couple of crushes on a couple girls in there, and they're fun to banter with too. With it all, see, I've never been to Australia, and I think I would really like the people, but everything there wants to kill you. Like the insects and the snakes and even the kangaroos will go over. You know what I mean? I'm just like, that's too much violent wildlife for me. Oh. And you as well. Enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah, too many angry animals. Yeah, I'm good where I am. Worst I got to deal with is the occasional rabid squirrel. I guess occasionally a bear will make its way through, but I've never seen a bear in my life. Not even at a zoo, strangely enough. Figure that's not real. I don't know if that's real wildlife or not. But yeah, I have a squirrel that sits. I have a dumpster to the my left, about 20 feet away. And so when I go into my kitchen in the morning, there's always a squirrel and it waves at me in between going into the garbage and getting food and coming back out. And I think it's charming as hell. It's got personality. I mean, the dumpster diving squirrel. How could you go wrong? I I'm pretty sure I've seen a raccoon. I mean, not up close. I've seen skunks up close, and they're actually that doesn't really. Oh, the poor dog. I used to have dogs. They've passed on since then, but one of them got after skunk. Oh, that was a mess. But they're not. Yeah, most of the wildlife out here doesn't really go after me, and even raccoon. I got a cousin who feeds them in his house. Like they come to his house and he gives them hot dogs and stuff. And I'm like, and I have that heart. Like I'll feed just about anything that comes within reach and doesn't try to kill me. And it's like, would you like something? Let me feed you. But the moment that something comes out in an angry mode, like, all right, you ain't getting fed. I'm going back inside. I mean, I don't even think I could take a squirrel if they were really angry. See that they got like Wolverine claws. It's how they climb stuff, and they're like in like if you get close, they're actually a good chunk, a good size, depending on where you are, I guess. But yeah, I'm fond of the squirrels. The raccoons, I haven't had a problem with. Opossums, whatever they're called. Those are around here, but I don't see those often. Of course, I'm in kind of like a pseudo rural area. where there's animals, but most of it's not like wild. I've never seen a moose. I hope I never see a moose. Those are huge. The power of those gigantic beasts. But that's much further north. And what else do we got around here? Owls. It's like the birds don't bother me. Although I guess the hawks and the eagles, they're terrible in regards to if you have chickens and stuff. Honestly, though, if you get the chance, come to Australia. It's really not bad. It's a long flight, but I would go. I'd probably want to wear some sort of chainmail armor or something. No, not that. It's not even the big animals that scare me. It's like the spiders and the venomous stuff. That's the stuff. I mean, I could eat. We got spiders here. They're like that big, maybe that big. But I actually let a spider live the other day. So I crawl up my bathroom wall, and I'm like, yeah, good luck. Hunt those other bugs. I wasn't gonna. I mean, it's not invited in my bed, but I mean, I don't want anything crawling on me, period. I used to have a problem where in this room, spiders used to just drop on down, just like that. And I'd be sitting here and I'd be watching TV and all of a sudden, and I'm like, oh, that ain't happening. No, 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 we're not that close. You don't get my. Say it happened enough where I went nuts. I got this. And if you know what this is one of those super. Yeah, let me show you. One of those super bright lights. And note, it's now daytime. And so I use that to to go through my room and clean out every cobweb, It was very handy for that aspect. But yeah, I douched this room out pretty thoroughly because they just kept coming down. And the last one actually looked at me and gave me the finger. It was just like, I'm living in your bed whether you like it or not. Oh no. Although I have to get one of those. I'm sure you've seen them. They have tennis rackets, the electrical tennis rackets that you can kill flies with and stuff. I use those for most insect life that gets too close to me. Most of the time, I'm a let-live sort of guy. But if you get in my airspace, no, that's all done. We do have, and it's kind of my family sigil. I don't know if you can see that. This is from not my last album, but one of my albums. A fox that I painted, and I ended up making a bunch of t-shirts on them. And I am going to be opening up my t-shirt store again, because I did it for a little bit, but it was a little costly, and I wasn't selling enough of them, so I'm like, yeah, all right. That's like a side hustle sort of thing. And, but they've extended like an limited time offer. I can come back for free, and I'll get a couple months for $1. And I'm like, well, all right, let's see. Because I'll be in front of an audience in May and June. And so I actually have people to interact with and go, hey, check it out. If you like it, come and get one. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Good times. And I ashed all over my bed. That's okay. Life is good. Let's smoke another one of these. And then I'm going to have a couple more beers. I've been playing this game, Fallout Shelter, which is kind of like do a couple actions and wait a few hours and then do a couple more actions. And so that's been kind of keeping me entertained in the short term. And when I'm not laughing at about my own smell, then, I got to keep myself entertained. And that's generally by playing a couple video games here and there. Excuse me. You can see I feel bubbles. Oh, there they are. Bubbles in, bubbles out. So yeah, it's such a bizarre world. But I'm still getting by. And I'm getting a certain degree of satisfaction by watching people get angry with me succeeding, which is such a weird phenomenon. Like my ex-girlfriend's boyfriend. Oh, that guy hates me. And I don't care. He's kind of douchey. Not someone I wanted to have in my circle. And obviously I didn't want her in my circle anymore either. I've never seen, there's such a sense of entitlement with the current, I'm trying to word this carefully. Not everyone's bad, but a lot of the female culture, especially young females today, are so entitled they just can't take it. So it gets to me. So now I'm kind of like, I back off of it. And that was what my ex told me, is not to date too quickly. I will never, ever date that quickly again. Because, that went bad. But it worked out, I guess, in the end, because it landed me here. And I'm not unhappy. I'd like to be doing better, but that's why I work at it. And that's it. I'm willing to put the effort in. Put the time in and study and try to improve. I'd like to think you can make headway in life. I'd like to think. I know this doesn't make me any smarter, but, I'm going to keep at it, though. And at some point, I put up a video of, I went to my old high school, which is now I want to say the community center, or it's like the head of the board of education of the area is in that building that used to be my high school. And when I went back, they had put up giant solar panels over the parking lot. So the parking lot's kind of like a parking garage, and the solar panels are on top of it. And there have to be like gigawatts of energy coming. They're ginormous. And so it was good. But that video, that short that I did, just on the fly, something like 1,600 views. And you figure, is that going to do it? I never expected that. It's always something bizarre that gets a lot of views and a lot of likes. So I can't predict that. I have no way of predicting what's going to work and what's not. I'm just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what works. And being myself in the course of it. And, I mean, it's growing slowly, but it is growing. So, be it as it may. That was cool. I got someone from Wales stopped in. It's such a small world. I've never been to Wales. I imagine there are less spiders because it's colder than Australia, with the deadly spiders and the marsupials. See? Even in this short, I've only been going for 40 minutes. And I've got, what's that? What do you think about transgenders? They have a right to exist, but I don't think that I should be legally forced to use pronouns. Um, and I don't agree with gender dysphoria. I think you got to kind of deal with what Mother Nature gave you and do your best. I don't think you get to retitle yourself as a cat because you feel cat-like, and that's something that goes on all the time. My ex-girlfriend's kid used to do that all the time. Oh no, I'm a kitty, and then used to do the pretend licking of the paw, and it was like, no, you're not a cat. I mean, you can pretend to be a cat. That's fine. Pretend to be a cat. But just because you say it doesn't make it so. The laws of man exist within the laws of nature, not vice versa. So yeah, that's what I think. And yeah, if they're nice, it's just like any other person. If you yeah, here's some milk for you. Oh God. I try not to get too deep into that stuff because I have my beliefs. But if you're a nice person, I don't care what your gender is, then I'm probably gonna be cool with you. And if you're not a nice person, I will go the other way. Just because I'd rather not have strife. I'd rather tell jokes and be happy and spread joy and sunshine if I can help it. Even if I have to artificially create it with this. Go out. You can blind yourself with it too. That was an out of the blue question. But I'll take those. I'll take an out of the blue question. Each to their own. Yeah. And I can be. Someone crosses me, I'm a really nice guy, but everyone's got their line. If you cross it, I try not to be vicious, but I can be. Because, oh, God, some people are terrible. Just don't, It's kind of like 9 times out of 10, if you ask me to do something, I'll do it. Because I'm a kind and generous sort of guy. But if you tell me I have to do something, nah, back the... Well, thank you, good sir. I'm just speaking from my heart. I do have a heart. Such as it is. But we're all human beings. I mean, if someone starts poking at you, you go, hey, stop poking. In general. It depends on the way they're poking, too, I suppose. Granted, it's been a long time, so I ain't poking or getting poked by anyone. Someone hit on me the other day, and I had to kind of like back up and go, no, sorry. I ain't playing in that field anymore. Not for a while. My goal? Well, that's an interesting question. If you're in regards to the YouTube channel, it's to get it monetized before the end of the year, and I'm very close to that. In regards to, well, I'm doing the stream is at 2 p.m. The one that I was talking about with Bontecoon. So if you're around for that, yeah, it would be cool to see you. But you have a good night, man. And what am I drinking? I'm drinking natural ice. This terrible product. 5.9% alcohol, and that's why I'm drinking it. Cool, man. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping in. In regards to my life goal, I'd like to get a few more albums done before I pass. And again, I'd like to get my YouTube channel to a point where it's monetized and I can start getting a little passive income from that. And if I'm lucky and I do meet a good female who's interested, then I'm still considering having kids and having a family, but so far it hasn't been in the cards. No such luck. But we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'm playing it by ear. 46, 46 views in 45 minutes. It's like a view a minute. It's really bizarre how this works. It really is. It's like a revolving door. Where I'm sorry to interrupt your shorts feed, but you push the button, and I'm not going to be more entertaining than the shorts because the shorts they keep your interest 15 seconds or a minute. It doesn't give you much time. So, oops. Yeah, I figure I got another couple beers and then and then I'll end this stream and get my beauty rest for tomorrow's stream, which I am pretty excited about because I get to pick his brain about his strategies and what he's noticed works and what doesn't work. So I'm on board for that. I can learn, and I enjoy that. Like the way he talks and the way I talk is very similar. Although I'm a New Englander, obviously, if you can't tell by the accent, and by my occasional dropping of the letter R. Excuse me, but Montague is from Ohio, and so it's not as prevalent. But we still have kind of the same mannerisms, and that's really cool. I like it when I can bounce off of somebody like that. So yeah. So now I've answered what my goals are. I've answered my how I feel about transgenders. It's always potluck when you do this. But I was able to show off my T-shirt because blood of the fox, man. That's kind of a family sigil, the fox. On my mother's side, the fox is kind of like the what family animal, I guess you could say. Totem, family totem. Is that the better way of saying it? I'm not, but it's an icon that kind of surrounds the whole family because that's what my grandfather was called. Everyone used to call him Foxy, because because he was cunning, and because generally foxes are pretty kind, but they're clever, and so that we always ran with that, and so now it's been going for 4 generations now, and so that's why I'm wearing the fox T-shirt because I wrote a song in tribute for my grandfather, which you can find on one of my prior music albums, which you can find on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, and YouTube. Hit the like button and subscribe button, or just do something. Or don't. I don't care. I'm just here to be here. I'm just here. Here drinking beer. Here drinking beer. My own music. Enjoying my night. Because, well, why wouldn't I? Grateful enough to have a nice place to hide from the cold. I had a good dinner tonight. Corned beef, cabbage. I got tasks for tomorrow. Things are looking up. And it's only going to get better from here because it's only going to get warmer. Spring is the beginning of the warm weather, and it gets beautiful out here. Once the leaves are on the trees, I really love where I live in the spring and in the summer. And then the other seasons are dog shit. But that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. What if I keep at this? If I can pass, it's just so bizarre. I'm going to talk about this with Pontacune tomorrow, too. That I've been toying with these vertical live streams. And it might not work for him, but it might. Who knows? He's got more reach. And it's amazing to see, like, I'll throw up a video, and if I'm lucky, it'll hit like 100. He throws up a video, and they'll get into thousands. And I'm like, wow, for only a couple thousand more, it really, it makes me ponder, oh, there must be a difference in the way those algorithms work. Algorithm? I could be talking like that. I'm talking like physics, Phil. Never can tell. Never can tell. I am going to shoot. I'm going to be doing some good stuff this summer. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Can never tell. Let me take these off. Of course, I won't be able to read the feed, but who needs the feed? Such a bizarre thing. It does give that spontaneity, though. That spontaneity comes back. For those of you scrolling your shorts feed, and you happen to come on in. It really is. It's just, we'll see. We'll see how it runs. I'll do this as long as I can. I'll do that. Because I'm not sure what they show, but the magic fingers. I'm going to have to get myself some herbage. I'm going to have to get some herbage in the very near future. Got to do that. Well, I don't have to. But I'd like to. After my stream tomorrow, I'll hit somebody up, I guess. It is 12:49 a.m. March 20th, 2024. I am talking to you live from Danielson, Connecticut, where absolutely nothing is happening. And that's all right. We like a nice peaceful night. We like a nice meatball. Should put the hat on. It's not a bad idea. I'm going to put the hat on when I go for my next beer. When I go for my next beer, I'll put the twinkly hat on. Because why wouldn't I? I mean, this is supposed to be pseudo-entertaining. I mean, you don't know. You might be, what's a buffoon? But I'm entertained by the buffoon. Buffoon? Have you heard that? That's a word I want to use more in my day-to-day life. Even if it's calling myself a buffoon. An apish buffoon. Seems to me that's the way you're supposed to say that. You, sir, are an apish buffoon. Really? Am I? I didn't realize. I was dragging my knuckles a bit, but didn't realize that made me an apish buffoon. I thought I was just stupid. subtly stupid. And in other ways, rather brilliant. I do float amongst the galaxy like space dust. You ever snorted space dust? No, I can't say that I have. So again, I mean, the shorts feed, it can lead you to interesting stuff. You might not even know. You might not know what's entertaining and you just come across it. That's the beauty of it. It's like flicking channels. The old fashioned way of doing television, where you just like click, 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 until you find something that kind of draws you in a little bit. Boy, you can tell that the drinking's starting to get to me because I'm starting to drop my R's. Oh, excuse me, R's. Like a true Boston, like someone truly from New England. We park our car, and it's we don't know what we're saying, but with the R's, they just disappear, and then everything gets slangy. Is that a real world? Real world? A real word? Slangy? So we haven't quite hit slang. Is there like a drunk slang? I guess you could call me. I'm kind of like northeastern Connecticut white trash. Could be. But I've never found a car while I've been mowing my lawn. I feel like that's more the Bible Belt sort of region. Not to say I don't have anything wrong with the Bible Belt. There's some colorful people down there. Yeehaw! Yeah, and I like those pecans. Those pecan rolls are delicious, even though it's all sugar and nuts. Like me a good nut. Well, you can take that many ways too. Well, so I hope this evening has been good for you. I hope you've been subtly entertained. I'm gonna put the hat in a second. It's interesting to see people kind of like going through the revolving door and stopping in, and they lurk. It's fine. You can lurk. I mean, it's kind of like the rated G version of Chatterbait or something like that. Because, I don't take anything off and I don't talk dirty. I just talk. I mean, and I have an absence of nipples. It's one of those genetic anomalies where I was just born without them. There's just nothing. I'm like a Ken doll in that aspect. It's very sad. Actually, it doesn't affect me at all. Okay. It's a good time to be alive. And thank you very much for stopping in and seeing what's going on. Again, I know shorts are like that. And I'm not keeping you anywhere near as entertained as those shorts. Because there's only so many ways you can fry a fish. And this is me frying fish. Doesn't smell like it. But I'm pretty sure there's fish frying right now. Mostly up here. There ain't a lot up here. It's because that's where I fry the fish. Kinda sardine-y. That's it. That's beer 2 down. Okay, you guys are going to have to be patient. Because I have to run to my fridge real quick and get another beer. And no one's talking, so you okay, man. All right, here we go. There's two beers with the old hat. I'm gonna show you guys the hat. Oh, you're still here. All right, let me turn this on, see if it still works. Ah, it does. See, I got the hat to go with the background. It's like I'm part of it. This is... now I just look like a character. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Please join me tomorrow where I'll be interviewing Bontecoon in my live stream. It'll be great. Fantastic. And I won't be drinking, which is probably a bonus. Oh, can you hear that? That's beer 3. Thanks for joining me for beer 3. Oh, and there's the gas. It's all right. That goes with it. Wow. It's amazing how this works. Because if I do a prepped live stream, I'll go through an entire live stream and no one will stop by. But I do one of these verticals, it's like, it's all happening. It's kind of a good shot. I like that. It's all about the blinkies, the blinky lights. The blinky lights make it all worthwhile. Oh, I already pulled one. I keep checking the feed like anyone's talking. They were. Not anymore. That's okay. Because life is good. As terrible as things might be, moment to moment, you're still here. You still made it. I'll do this until I get too buzzed. And then, that'll be done. No likes, though. Nobody likes me.
Sorry to hear that. Talking to a friend, listening to music, or taking a walk may help. I hope you feel better soon.
She did that spontaneously. It's like she's listening in for my mental health. I don't think she should be in charge of my mental health. The hat. I'm gonna have to get a new battery. But still, I'm surprised. I've had this hat for like a decade. It's still going. And life is good. I'm lucky enough to be nice and warm inside. Got a beer to drink. Got a cigarette to smoke. And Kevin Gore. Sorry. Guau. Douchebag. We have royals and we have horses. See that? So like disappear into the background. It really does amaze me. So I'm going to keep going. Now in 4 minutes. I mean, for 1 a.m. What are you going to do? I'll just keep at it. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I'll go back to Fallout Shelter a little before I'll one more run of that before I call it for the evening. Should put that in my. What if I can do that? Another time. Don't overthink it. Don't put too much effort into it, but note to self. It's like a man in a box. I am the man in the box. And it's the hat. The hat really makes it because it blends in with my blinky background. And in fact, it almost looks like I'm wearing sunglasses, which is, it's nighttime. So it looks like I'm wearing my sunglasses at night when actually they're real glasses. I don't know if you can. Oh, goodness. For those who don't know, it's 1:02 a.m. I am Kevin G Nicholson. Please look me up on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, and YouTube. It is March 20th, 2024. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm sorry to interrupt your short stream, but you hit the button, and I'm not going to entertain you as well as shorts, but I'm going to give it my best go. Why? Well, because I got a good hour left. An hour of fuel left in me to try to communicate with you, the audience, with you, the viewer. Unless you're Kevin G. In which case you can eat a couple of smelly things. And you probably already are. Hi! But I don't like to dwell on hate. That's counterproductive. I'm dwelling on good times. Dwelling on the fact that we're still here. We've made it this far. That means you are a winner. You've made it through all your trials and tribulations, and you have gotten to this point where you're still alive. The future's still in front of you. You can do good things with your life, and your life could possibly get better. It's still there. It's still going. It's still happening right now. Be positive. I went to scratch my head, and I had the hat on. All right, there we go. Because everyone loves a hat. I mean, it's not as popular as the squid hat, but it's a pretty awesome hat. And the batteries have worked. I can't believe the batteries work. They've been in this hat for over a decade. Talk about a good product. Yeah. $41 and $58. I think I'm getting close. So it's that 94. Or if I add it all together. So we'll see. We're going to see. I'm not sure I'm doing the math right. I'm probably not doing the math right. But you know what? Sometimes you got to go beyond the math. Sometimes you have to go with your gut. Especially when your gut says, no, don't date her. Because, it's going to be bad. But you know what? You get through it. You learn your lessons. You get stronger. You'll get smarter. And you'll get that sort of experience that lets you have a better life from here on in. If you're an ally, I wish you more laughter than tears for the rest of your existence. If you're not an ally, well, then I wish you the opposite. And if you're on the fence, then I'm ambivalent and we're in good shape. Ambivalence means you don't care, positive or negative. You're just kind of like, eh. For those who don't know, I don't know what people know and what people don't know, so I feel like I gotta explain, make myself. I want to see if I can communicate effectively across many different genres, across many different. Am I the only one here? Ally of me. I'm talking in the first person. And no, you are one of three people in the room. I'm talking in general metaphors. If people are kind to me, I tend to wish them good things. If people are not kind to me, I tend to wish them bad things. I think it's a very human aspect. And if they don't think about me at all, well, that's the ambivalence thing, where I don't think positive or negative. So an allies are like different than friends. Like friends are people you can lean on. An ally is someone that you're like, okay, we're going in the same direction and we want to be friendly with each other, but we don't have the experience to trust each other yet. So an ally is someone you observe as you go forward together with them. I'm probably getting this definition all wrong. Let's ask the tube. Alexa, define an ally.
An ally refers to someone who supports and cooperates with another individual or group. It can involve offering resources, knowledge, or standing in solidarity for a shared cause or purpose. In the context of social justice, an ally is someone who advocates for marginalized groups and works to promote equality and justice.
I'm all for equality and justice. Turn that down a little bit. How's that a very human thing? That's exactly how animal. You know what? You're right. Although, you know what? Have you ever seen those videos where, one animal will rescue another animal? There is compassion in nature. And that says something to me. That makes me feel better about existing in nature. Because if animals can be kind to each other, then maybe there's a chance for us to be kind to each other. And I know it's rare, but I mean, it's like, you see like the lion nurturing the deer rather than that stuff happens all the time. Where you see, animals showing emotion and empathy and love for their owners or for other animals. It's really comforting to know that it's built into the design that there's empathy and that there is love and that there is good vibes. That's just my opinion. I'm entitled to it with my blinky hat. And anytime I do this, it's very interesting. Because it's kind of like watching people go through the door of a bar. Where it's like, hey, what's going on in here? And then they'll go, la 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 la, and then it's very bizarre. But hypes me up a little bit. It's nice to know that it's just like, okay, there is good in Mother Nature. Mother Nature's not all about carnage. and destruction. There is caring, there is compassion, there is love in nature. And I like that. And it's benefit already. I think I crossed the line. We'll see. I'm gonna go for another couple beers, and then after a couple beers, then I'll be done. Why? Because I'm the host of this YouTube channel, and I can do whatever I want. I'm like a living jukebox, loving life. Loving life and hoping you're loving life too, especially if you're a positive force in the universe. It's too easy to find things that are wrong. If you can find things that are right, well, that's a talent. And God bless you. I like people who make the world better, who are looking for the positives and want to accentuate it. Granted, it's just my opinion and everyone's entitled to their own. I'm there right now, venting my opinions on the YouTube vertical live stream, which they're trying to take over the niche from TikTok, because they're trying to ban TikTok now. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. TikTok is like run by China, and so everyone's going, well, we don't want it to meddle with the youth of today any more than we already have. All right, fine. But now TikTok's going to get banned, and that leaves YouTube all alone on the vertical streaming format. So it'll be interesting to see how things move from here. And you know, it is funny because when people do talk about nature and the fact there is compassion in nature and there is sympathy and empathy, and that those emotions go down the food chain, then we're not made terribly. In fact, human beings are pretty impressive if you think about it from a robotic standpoint, because it takes so much work to get any machine to do what we do. You know, and I know everyone's touting AI. AI can't even spell. I've been using Chat GPT for like the last month and a half. It still can't spell. And I'm like, how smart could it possibly be? If it can't get spelling right, then I'm not so worried about Skynet. Yeah, and feel free to hit the like button, because you know the like button makes me want to come back. Otherwise, no, I'll come back anyway. I know where my audience is, and it's in vertical live stream, where I can show off my blinky hat. Look at how blinky. It's sweet how blinky it is. And I got my rosy cheeks going on. And my cheeks are so rosy because I'm a happy guy. Much to the dismay of my enemies. And much to the joy of my allies. See, it works both ways. But I'm enjoying life right now. Especially I love the fact that I don't have anyone in my immediate vicinity. I'm not endorsing solitude per se, but space. I like having my own space. I like being able, and one of the few things about, like, I live alone, and one of the joys of living alone is I don't have to worry about how I'm dressed. If I want to walk to the bathroom without pants on, I can do it and no one's going to go, blah, 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 blah. It's nice to be free. I like freedom. Freedom's an awesome thing. I plan on keeping it for as long as I can. And here I am, free in the good old United States of America. And that's the way a cookie crumbles. That's the way the beer goes down. Here's to you. Cheers. What are we doing? It is 1:16 a.m., March 20th, 2024. Thank you for joining me. My name's Kevin G Nicholson. Please look me up on Spotify, YouTube, or not. That doesn't matter. You'll do what you're going to do. But if you're subtly entertained, you might take a look for me. I know you're straight off the shorts feed, and it was a lot more entertaining over there. Just go back to the shorts if you're bored. This is real life. This is real. This is happening. This is in real time. Although you're probably a couple seconds behind me. I know it takes a little bit for that data to translate. But, it's such a weird thing. Oh, excuse me. Oh, see, I feel more bubbles. That's what's giving me pause. Here, let me scoot closer to you. Because I feel like we're getting close. I thought we were getting close, and then you left. That's right. It's a good time, I'm telling you. I mean, whatever troubles you have in your life, you know what? You made it. Things are all right now. You made it to this live stream. You reached your goal. You reached goal. Or you didn't. Just watch people blowing through. Guau. Pat, he's such a douche. I'm gonna beat him. And I'm gonna beat him. Not like physically beat him. I mean, beat him in the game. In the game of life, you wait. You wait and see. I'm still going. I still got some life in me yet. You never know where things are going to end up. And I got a positive predisposition. I got a positive attitude about this. And I'm watching those numbers climb. I like watching those numbers climb. Because that means watch time. Thank you for the watch time. Even if it's for a few seconds, it adds up. Just like anytime you listen to a single track of my albums, it counts and it helps. Just that momentary blurt of attention still helps. And thank goodness for that. Because this kind of keeps me... I'm going to talk about the vertical live stream tomorrow. Because it's been kind of a phenomenon. It's kind of like what's past is prologue. Because when the internet first started, you get chat rooms. And then the first people open the chat rooms, they would start slow, just like this. And then they start to fill up more and more and more and more. And then the internet kind of transformed, and everyone wasn't doing chat rooms anymore. They were doing other stuff. Well, now we've come full circle to where you get to watch me in real time, but it's essentially a chat room where you get to put your 2 cents in and go, you're stupid, or you're clever, or you're fun, or whatever, however you feel. It's not for me to dictate how you feel. It's for me to just do my thing and, hang out with you. Hey! I want to say, what is that? Iron? I can't read it. Jeez. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Sorry to interrupt your feed. I am at, this is beer 3 for me of natural ice. So I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm intoxicated, but I'm tipsy. My goal for this stream is to reach 4 beers. Cheers. Shot 4. So you're essentially 1 drink ahead of me. But I hope it treats you well. I hope you're having a good night. I hope you can feel the joy coming off of me into your heart. Because in general, I do want good people to have good lives. About to go for smoke? Well, I'm sorry you have to go out for smoke. I'm one of the few people where I get to have one. Unless you're talking about 420, I'm out. I'm out of the herbage in that regards. Oh, that's all right. I can go without. Still having a good time. But glad you. I mean, what are you drinking? Thank you. But what are you drinking? Are you drinking what? Like shots of what? Tequila, vodka, Zambuca. I just like saying Zambuca. Wait, I got bubbles. Excuse me. It all changed once I put the blinky hat on. Jack and Crown. Whiskey. Or is that? No, Jack is whiskey, right? Or it's bourbon. So you're off to a good start. Well, I hope you went into it with a good. Try the new Carnival Caramel Crown. Ooh, Caramel Crown. That sounds like diabetes by the shot, but I might give it a shot. Just Kentucky whiskey. I used to do that, but as I've aged, my stomach can't hold it as well. So I tend to kind of. That's why I'm doing dog shit. It's terrible, but it's easy on my stomach for some reason, and I still manage to get loaded. And I figure it's 1:24 in the morning, so I can afford to have a little tipsy time. A little tipsy time in between. So long as it's making you happier rather than sadder, there's no judgment coming off of me. Just joy. There's just joy coming off of me. I'm amazed at how life has kind of turned her out. I'm not a millionaire, but you know what? I don't need to be a millionaire. But I get a good life, and most people don't get that. I'm grateful for it. You're gonna order pizza. The toppings, you're gonna get any toppings? You're just gonna do cheese. I'm a pizza guy. I made myself pizza this afternoon. Yeah. I'm fed, sheltered, and I got the bonus. I got a little beer, I got smokes. Not needs, but wants. Ow, I gotta stretch my leg. Pepperoni and beef. That's what I'm talking about. Do you like it thin or you like the thick pizza? We had, I don't know if you've heard of it. We have a restaurant called Papa Gino's out here. And it's kind of a regional thing. Hand tossed, that's the best kind, in my opinion. We have, so we have this thing called Papa Gino's. It's a pizza place that kind of turned into a chain. And then it didn't do so well. And then they pared back. But it was good pizza. From my childhood. Not much choice where you are. What are you doing, Domino's? I mean, it's kind of pizza. Every time I've ordered Domino's, I've just been like, why do I do this? To the point where I stopped. And I'm just like, okay, no. It's not like I'm in college anymore. I'm like, all right, I'll eat this cardboard. Wait, I'm about to go wash my crack? Please, please, always wash your crack. I, I am enthusiastically encouraging you to wash your crack. Yeah, and did you like that experience at Domino's? I have a hunch there were positives and there were negatives, but the negatives outweighed the positives. Any of those big chains, McDonald's, KFC. I mean, it's good for a little bit, but ultimately, as soon as they have to pay you a little bit more, they're gonna axe you. That's my opinion. Love my white girl nose beers. Love my white girl nose beers. I believe that's KNOWS you're trying to say. Well, hey, again, if it brings you joy, more power to you. As long as it doesn't involve hurting anybody else, I'm down. Sounds like you've had a good night. And what else we got? Be safe and have a good night, man. I hope you have a good one. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. Kind of to wish. And back at you. I'm winding down, but I ain't there yet. Well, I'm glad you stopped by. Please, for my channel, look me up later on when I'm not loaded, or maybe you prefer me loaded. I don't care. But glad you stopped in. All right, you get your pizza and pass out. Because sometimes that's the perfect end to an evening. Full belly, and a good sleep, prepare the next day. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? You drink some water. I ain't drinking water. I still got one more of these to finish off. And that's how long the stream's gonna last. My streams don't last in a matter of minutes. They last 4 beers. Because at the end of beer 4, I'm done. But again, thanks for stopping by, and I appreciate you hanging out for a little bit. And please enjoy the rest of your night. And even if it's Domino's, you might be able to enjoy that. Especially if you've had a few drinks beforehand. You're like, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm really lucky. We have a place down the road called Pizza Pizzazz, and they have really good pizza. And so when I'm not making my own, because I am a very good cook, how you say, almost chef-like without the bona fide training. But it was awesome. I had myself cut up a nice loaf of French bread, put a little pizza sauce on that, cover that with mozzarella, and I was fine with just the cheese pizza. It was great. But you do your Dominoes. Drink some water, G, like water. No water for me tonight. It is a couple of beers, and then I will not be interrupting your shorts feed anymore. Oh, tortilla, salsa, and cheese. It's like a ghetto pizza. That ain't ghetto at all. Everyone's got different tastes. Nothing wrong with that. A little salsa. I'm a salsa kind of guy. Although I tend to, I make taco salads. I like to pour a little salsa in there. Especially when I don't have tomatoes. That kind of acts, that's my surrogate for tomatoes. It's the salsa. Because there's nothing wrong with a good taco salad. Unless it's a metaphor for something else. In which case, beware the taco salad. It's, oh no, beware if it's metaphorical. Oh, it's a good night. It's so bizarre how life turns. Red or green chilies? I do the greens. But, if someone's serving me, I'll take a stab at anything. I'm pretty courageous in regards to my palate. The palate on my tongue, not the palate on my easel. No, the palate is the thing that holds the hatch. Hatch BOP. Oh, I think I lied a little bit because I can still taste how bad that beer is. But it's only because it's towards the end of it. Hey, if it's working for you, man, add away. Put whatever you want on your pizza. You have free will. You have that choice. You have that right to add whatever you want to your pizza. You want to put pineapple on there? Some people they get sick about it. You add what you want to your pizza. You are a free individual. See, and I'm burping up pizza. It's such a bizarre night. I have gone way too far. Yeah, you seem like you're pretty chill as well. I like to think I'm a chill guy. I have my moments. I'm not anal, which is just me saying anal, like a freshman. But I'm a quiet pace too. But no, I mean, enjoy the pizza. Again, I'm gonna be streaming again in the future, and I do have a channel that you can poke at. Please hit the like button as much as you can because that increases my engagement. Stay up. Good pizza time for me. Here's to you, man. I hope your night is fantastic. Oh, if it's anywhere near as good as mine has been, then you're doing pretty good. And I hope I was able to transfer a little of that joy. Because I got a lot of joy in my heart. Even still, despite all the trials, despite all the tribulations, I'm wearing a blinky hat. Look at that, blinking. It's the little things in life that you treasure. What are we looking at? All right, cool. Thanks, man. Enjoy your pizza. Put whatever you want on it. You can do that. And I'm not going to finish the rest of that. Which means, it doesn't mean I'm done drinking. It means I'm not drinking the rest of that. Time for a new one. Beer 4. This is it. This is the final beer for the evening. Oh. At the end of this beer, I will be ending this stream. I've been going for, what? An hour and 40 minutes. The Irish stew made me hungry. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little luck of the Irish. Especially if it's in stew form. Although, don't they have bread in the stew? The Irish stew? And, what's the beer? Guinness. They have Guinness in Irish stew? Or am I projecting? Yeah, see, that's much better. The top of it's always better. Cream diesel. And, that didn't even strike me earlier. That's weed. And I wish I had some diesel right now. Or any diesel right now. That's all right. My life is still wonderful, despite the fact I happen to have no weed. And a happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Cor. This has been a bizarre night. And based on these projections, based on these projections, it's just amazing. We have royals and we have horses, is what she said. I like her. I got a little crush on her. Sydney. A little young for me, but she's legal and she's funny. She's got a good sense of humor. And she's very athletically built, which I'm very fond of. I like the athletically built girls. I don't mean like bodybuilder. I mean just like, I want to say she's got kind of like that deer-like grace. Like, you ever see when they do the prancing thing? She prances. And I don't know why that's attractive to me, but it is. I like the prancing. So what are we at? Yeah, we got another 15 minutes, I think. All right, how about I turn the hat off, though? It's warming my head. Oh, I didn't turn it off. Now it's off. The hat has been retired for the evening. Oh, excuse me. Terribly sorry. Didn't need to burp in front of you. That makes me look like a cochon, which I believe is French for pig. I believe. Oh, c'est croissant. No, not croissant. 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 I never learned full French. I Frenched a few people, but I've never learned full French. I've had French dressing. Does French dressing count as French? Is that really French? Or do the French look at French dressing down their nose and you see, the French dressing has nothing to do with us. We don't like the French dressing. It's paltry imitation. I think I just merged into Italian there. And that's what happens. You have a few natty ices. I think I'm there. I think I've already got it. I'm wondering if I keep going, if I could hit 1,000. Because wouldn't that be something? It's unlikely, though, because, again, one more beer and then I'm done. And luckily, I do have the Nicholson gift of pontification, so I can just keep talking till I'm done. I don't necessarily even need anything to talk about. And life is good. I'm glad that everyone stopped in today. I mean, some good conversations. There were poignant questions asked of me today. I like that interaction. This has been more interactive than typical streams. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I like this so much. And why I keep going back to it. Because I was only going to do this like once or twice. But I'm still here. Swag syndrome. I take some swag right now. I'm so busted. That's right. I'll be fine without it. But nothing wrong with a little swag. Assuming that we're talking about the same sort of swag, because, language is such a iffy thing. Sometimes I'll be talking and people take me out of context, and, it sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm just started my 4th beer, which will be my final beer for this live stream. And that'll be the end of the live stream. But I had a good day. I got to hang out with Edna, who just turned like 103 years old. And boy, it's fascinating to talk to someone with that sort of perspective. And she was doing good. She was happy to be there. We had corned beef and cabbage. I had a good day today. So now I'm spreading that joy out. Here, have some joy. You get some joy, and you get some joy. I'm like the white male Oprah of joy. I can't get you cars, but I can give you a little joy. Maybe. Or maybe I'm irritating you. I'm sure there's one person I'm irritating. Yippee! Oh, now I sound like Anakin Skywalker. If you get that reference, I'll have a lot of respect for you. Yippee! Hey, life is good. Sometimes you gotta yippee. And hurrah. And hooray. And huzzah. You do. Yes! I do smoke can. I can't smoke it now because I don't have any. But yes, I am a firm believer in cannabis smokage. Smokage the cannabisage. Gonna take part. Fat dab. You smoke that for me, man. Yippee hurrah, hooray, huzzah. See? God bless cannabis. God bless marijuana. God bless Mary Jane. God bless you guys. We made it this far. We're winners. Whatever trials or tribulations we've undergone in our lives, it led to this moment, and you're still here. That means you're a victor. Stoned or not. I mean, I wish it was stoned, but I got the beer, so that's kind of compensating a little bit. A little bit. I prefer the weedage. But, yeah, it's me speaking my own truth. Everyone's got their own truth. And I'm glad I'm still here. There is optimism in my future. I'm grateful that I still have a future in front of me that looks pretty rosy overall. I mean, I got problems, but a girl ain't one. The electric bill might be a problem, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Technically, yeah, we'll see. I think I got another 4. Another 4. Oh, wait, what's going on? Yeah, I got crazy optimism. I made it. I'm still alive. I shouldn't have made it this far. So I'm feeling pretty good about the world in general. Despite the news, despite what they feed you, all you have to do is look around your life and go, are there dogs? Yes. I get to pet dogs. That in and of itself is awesome. I love dogs. Friendly dogs. And most of the dogs I meet are friendly. Oh, excuse me. I'm a dog lover. I hate cats. But I don't like to dwell on the negative. So I just won't consider cats. Meow. I'm sorry, can I not say that? I don't know how well the auto sensors work on here. Because it used to be the internet was like, oh, okay, now we're not censored anymore. We can use the F word. We can say anything. And now it seems like the censorship has come back. I can work around it. I'm sorry. You know, and you can have them. I'm allergic to cats. Like, they make me break out. And most of them are pretty arrogant little arrogant little cats. I'm not a big fan of arrogance. And it's like cats believe we live to serve them. And I ain't down with that. Whereas dogs are just like they just want your love. And I give them as much of my love as I possibly can. What's that button? A button just appeared that I'd never seen before. Curiouser and curiouser. Guess there's still stuff to discover. Either way, I still got half a natty ice here. I'm going to down this. I'm going to keep going until it's done. What about... Jesus, I can't read that. Dobermans? I've met Dobermans that have been nice. Although typically they tend to be trained militant. But I've seen Dobermans that have been like really friendly. I'm into any animal that's friendly. I have a dumpster squirrel that waves to me in the mornings. And typically I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm a squirrel lover, but I love that squirrel because he waves at me. And he sees me, he's like, I'm going to go through your trash. And I wave back. And he waves. Then he disappears in the dumpster. I like that squirrel. I haven't named it yet. I thought that was impertinent of me to do. I mean, I'm cool with just about any creature, so long as it's not, like, screwing with me. One ripped off my friend's finger. You know, it's kind of like saying, are police dogs real dogs? Because if they're trained to attack and rip out your throat, I don't think that's their natural state. I think their natural state is just to be like, to hang out and to be part of the pack, and and until you're trying to bang the same girl that they are, then generally they're pretty cool. I mean, I've never owned a Doberman. I see. All right, here. This is gonna say something. What I've owned was Cocker Spaniels, and God, I love that breed. And the reason I love Cocker Spaniels is because we had one, like my family had one when I was a teenager, and that was the only dog we could let out. Like we could just open the door and let it out, and it would always come back. And I'm like, that's an awesome dog. We can just let it go, and it wants to come back. You don't have to like keep track of it. And then I ended up getting dogs later, and I ended up getting Cocker Spaniels because I was influenced by that. And they were awesome. Although those two did try to run to a certain degree. One, because it was a male dog, and because it was like, you wanted to chase tail. And the other one, because it wasn't quite sure at first, but she got better. But ultimately, I lost both of those to old age. That was very sad. But I'm grateful for the experience because I got a lot of love from those dogs. And I know I'm probably sharing more than I should probably share, but those, and I'm great despite the pain at having to lose them at the end. Cocker Spaniels will always have a place in my heart, especially the ones that I lived with. And the Cocker Spaniel, like I had a black Cocker Spaniel named Knox, which is Latin for night, and I thought it was appropriate and pseudo clever. But that dog was just had so much personality. No. You have a good night, man. Really, try to stay up. Remember, the world's in front of you, not behind you. Don't fixate on what's behind you. Fixate on the positive future if you can. And here's to you. I'm almost at the end of my... Wow, I've been going for almost 2 hours. And I'll go for... Well, the feel of the weight. I got another 15 minutes easy. But really, no, enjoy your night, especially if you're smoking. Well, you'll have a good night either way. Nah, it's such a good day, and this has kind of topped it off in a really weird sort of way that I was expecting. This wasn't scheduled. None of these vertical live streams are scheduled. It's just like, I might as well give it a shot for a little bit. And I always feel good about doing it. I never feel like I've wasted my time. I feel like, oh, well, no, this is definitely time well spent. So I'm glad I'm doing it, and I'm going to do more of it. Although I got to get back to the real grind tomorrow. Be a real video man. Excuse me. Because this is just so simple to set this up. Because you just put it up, you connect it to the cable, and you go, okay, go live. Whereas everything else, like then you're designing thumbnails, and there's just so much extra work that you put into, editing videos and doing live streams with, when you're streaming games and stuff like that. This is dead simple. And so I wasn't sure and I'm still not quite sure what the purpose is beyond, hey, it's nice to meet you. But, I mean, it really is. It's a surprise that something that would take so little work, in a sense, would be so rewarding, number-wise anyway, and even emotionally, because... it's nice to have people actually comment back and forth and go, hey, you're stupid, or hey, you're great, or hey, it doesn't matter what they say, the fact that they say anything at all. Because if in the typical, YouTube world of live streaming, if you don't niche down, then no one's paying attention. So it's been interesting to experiment with this. And I'm going to talk about this in the live stream too. The other live stream tomorrow. All right, one more cigarette and I'll finish my beer. Because I've just about crossed my threshold. I'm amazed at what's going on tonight. I mean, this is a threshold crossing moment for me. And I've met a couple of really cool people on this, which is very atypical. Like, you don't even meet people on Facebook anymore. It's all people scamming you. What's your Cash App? I don't have Cash App. Everyone's trying to screw you for money on Facebook. But all of a sudden, here I am on YouTube, and people are actually having conversations, going, how are you doing? What's going on? And what are you drinking? And what's going, you know what I mean? At least they're showing some actual interaction, and that's nice. I am amazed. But, amazed or not, you hear that? Hear that? The sound of an almost empty can. I'm waiting for that click. I'm waiting for that one click. Because one more. Most people have to smoke outside with their leper colonies. They do treat smokers like lepers now. You got your little island, and you can only go there. Well, you know what? My island's in here. And I can do it. Legal, it's proper, and it's ethical. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for that one click. Click. Banana slug. See, a lot of neat people. For being 2 a.m. We're at it's 1:58 a.m. March 20th, 2024. My name is Kevin G Nicholson. If you've enjoyed any of this, please hit the like button. Boop the like button. Do whatever you want with the like buttons, but toggle something. Or look me up on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, whatever streaming platform. I mean, this is the music I'm listening to. If you don't like it, you don't have to. But why not broaden your horizons? Try something new. What am I doing? Hey, Jeffrey Epstein. I'm a fan. You got the shaft, man. It's such a shame what happened to you, man. You deserve better. You deserve better. You didn't even get a trial. Epstein. You didn't even get a trial. And that's, it's a shame. And Geraldine, she got the shaft too. I think it was a lot of people trying to cover up their own sins, and they ended up taking you down as a result. I don't think that, they painted it more insidious than it was. So that's my take on you, Jeffrey Epstein. I think you were painted in the wrong light. And you know what? There's no one going to change my mind on that. I think Epstein was a good man. Just saying. I didn't know him personally, but that's my hunch. That's what my gut tells me. And sometimes you gotta believe your spidey sense. You gotta trust your spidey sense sometimes. Because if you don't, well, it's gonna tell you later. What's that? The impeccable weasel. There's a guy who was in here a second ago. Am I? Oh, please tell me how wrong I am. Did you know Epstein in real life? Well, I myself am crazy AF. I believe everything that they feed me. And let me tell you what, and let me tell you why I believe I'm right. Beyond the Epstein thing, this COVID thing, yeah, 4 years later they're saying, treat it like the flu. Really? They shut everything down, and now they're just going, it's like the flu. And we're all let them go. Why did Shirley Maxwell have a submarine pilot's license? Where did the concrete go? oh, oh, you want to fight? You're in here to fight. Someone once said, true wisdom is knowing you know nothing. And I consider myself an imbecile. I know nothing. If you know, you know. I know nothing, as I believe I just said. But I do trust my gut. And my gut says they changed it to a context that they wanted. That wasn't the person. Either one of them. And, unless you show me empirical evidence, but we weren't able to see empirical evidence, were we? We were just given a story and continued to give stories despite the fact I go, what do you want? Justice. He's dead. How much more justice do you want? I mean, that's where I'm at in regards to that. No, I think a lot of this is a big smoke show to make villains out of nobody. Or out of everybody. And you can color anyone to be a villain if you change the narrative. Doesn't mean that was the truth. And just because you're buying the CNBC or the Fox or the, whatever slant you're taking, we weren't there, we don't know. Empirical evidence is something that you can't argue with. That's scientific proof. If there's no scientific proof, then it's just supposition. And that's my opinion on most things. You could say someone was a douchebag, but okay, where's the physical damage? I heard a lot of people making up stories, but how many deaths were involved? None. None after the fact. None before the fact. So no, I'm a fan of Mr. Epstein and Miss Maxwell, and I believe, with no empirical evidence, but because of the vibe that I get, that they were what do they call it? Pigeonholed. And you don't have to believe in my views. But you have to accept the fact that I believe it. I think they're making lots of villains out of nothing for the sake of their own ends. And there's going to be plenty of that in the future. And my job in the universe is to try to make good things happen. Hello, Dickinson. It's all up. It's all up in the air and things are good. I hope you find yourself in a positive attitude this evening. As positive as I am, because I'm feeling pretty good. And part of that is because I went into it with a positive attitude, and the other part is because I'm at the end of number 4. Which means this stream won't be lasting for too much longer. I'm going to say 10 more minutes. Maybe a little less. Because all good things must come to an end. And tonight was a good thing. I had a good time in here tonight. I had a lot of fascinating conversations, a lot of positive interaction, which I wouldn't have had if I had not done this. So you never know. You never can tell how a day will change. And I hope your day has gone well. And if not, I hope it goes positive for you going into the future. Because I want people to be happy around me. I don't want people fighting around me. I want there to be positive energy. And I can't force it, but I can encourage it. That's one of my agencies. And I gotta get up in the, well, not gonna worry about that right now. I'll worry about that later. That's for the future. And right now, the future looks grand. It looks like there's going to be a positive influx of energy in the future, and I'm very optimistic. I hope that rubs the right people in the right way. This is me sharing my positive joy with the universe via vertical live streaming over my little blinky Starfield. See, I bring that down a notch, it turns into an evil laugh. Anyone know that reference? No? Nobody understands me. Magma. That's been a good night. I hope you having a good night. This is one of the few things I'm stoked about. I'm one of the last people who can smoke indoors. Everyone else is banned. Not me. I can do it as long as I want. But I'll keep doing it. I can't believe I crossed the mark. It's incredible. Really, I'm so stoked. I crossed the mark. And I got a live stream tomorrow in horizontal format, which won't come close to this. And that's all right, because the information I'll be getting from it will be invaluable. And the bonding from it will be invaluable too. I like bonding. But that's amazing. I mean, sharks with freaking lasers on their freaking and he knew. Sharks with freaking lasers on their freaking heads. Why couldn't I get sharks with freaking lasers? You know, and I was a big Mike Myers fan But no, those are worth it. Those are timeless. Magma. Oh, see, we got good stuff. We had good stuff, and I'm sure there's more good stuff to come. Mm. But more good stuff to come or not, that is beer number 4 for me, folks. It's been really worth it, though. That's incredible. It's been going on. Like, I don't get I'll talk about this tomorrow. If you don't know already, my name is Kevin G Nicholson, and I'm the host of this YouTube channel. Please look me up on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, or just subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you can. I have had way too much beer at this point, and it's time for me to call it a night. Despite the fact I'm kind of encouraged to actually keep going. Especially after the sharks with freaking lasers. Magma. Oh, life is good. Oh, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I'm sorry again to interrupt your shorts feed, and I hope you're suddenly entertained by my interaction. You have a fantastic night. Joy to you all. Good night.